Hello everyone, welcome to my video. This video is intended to help anyone who is going ahead with Indian passport renewal. And the region I did my renewal was in Manchester. I thought I'll just put this post in order to help anyone who wants to go through the process, because there are a few things that we need to be careful about. So today is the day that I've just submitted my application for the renewal. Okay, so without further delay, let's just dig into the process. Okay, so the first and foremost thing before you decide on applying for the renewal is getting an appointment. So that is something that has quite of a delay, and so for that you need to visit the HCI London, the High Commission of India in London, and the website. And under the service you can select the passport or surrender of Indian passport. So passport includes all the passport services that are available, and also the surrender of the Indian passport. So that's a service that we need to select, and the location. So the passport renewal has taken, I've done the passport renewal through VFS, and VFS is the one who's doing it. So in London, there are 4 locations. So all these: Belfast, Cardiff, Hounslow, and Gosford, it comes under the London VFS. Same way, Birmingham, Bradford, Leicester, and Manchester, it comes under Birmingham VFS. So we need to choose the VFS which is closest to us. And for the appointments as well as for the application, I'll tell you how that needs to be done. So because I'm based in Manchester, I've chosen Birmingham VHS for Manchester. Okay, now let's get on with the availability. So these red crossed ones are the ones which doesn't have any availability. All the appointments are completely booked. So let's move on to see when is the next one. Okay, so February, nothing's there. And okay, March, so we have one slot, which is almost less than 2 months. We have a slot in March, and we are just choosing it for now. And these are the available time slots that are there, and we can take any convenient time, whatever is convenient to us, for the slot. Now make sure the only thing to make sure is that you reach 15 minutes ahead on the date of the appointment at the renewal center, which is VFS. And other than that, also make sure that you have enough time, because even if you get a slot from 12:30 to 12:45, it may not necessarily complete in that time. You will have to give a buffer time of around 2 hours, because for me, my appointment was at 12 o'clock. I reached the center at around 11:15, which was early, and 12:45. 11:45 is when I received my token, and that's 15 minutes before the appointment. And after that, I had to wait for around an hour or so, and all the process I could step out of VFS only after 2 hours, by around 2:30. So it closely takes around 2 hours or so to complete the entire process. I don't know if it is specific to any day, but I see it's pretty crowded. All the slots are completely filled, and there could be delays in certain applications. Maybe it's a complexity of the application, or I'm not sure if the documentation is not done proper, but there are delays in certain applications which would overflow to other timings, and the whole thing gets delayed. So make sure you don't have any other commitments for that day, the day that you're doing the renewal. Okay, and after that, you enter the details of the applicant as whatever is given on passport, the passport number, email address, and if you have any other family members who are accompanying you, you can enter their details also. And then the verification capture and schedule. You click on schedule appointment now. So after this is done, what you get is a page which mentions all these details: the appointment time, date and time, and the details that you have given. And you need to it's better that you save it as a PDF on your system, and also take a printout and keep, because this document is something that you'll have to carry on the day of the appointment when you get to the visa application center. So that is step 1. Now step 2 is going through the list of documents. or the process, to understand the process, what is there for visa renewal under the VFS Global website. So they have clearly mentioned all the process and the procedures and the documentation that is required. But make sure you go through those details, because some things can be missed out, and it could avoid the last minute running around. Okay, so yep. So what we need now, I'm just directly, yeah. The place that we require to apply for a passport is, the link is given here. It's the passportindia.gov.in, and we'll go to the fees. It's around for a normal ordinary passport. So this is the one that I've taken. It's a reissue of the passport up to 1 year after expiry, or up to 1 year before expiry. So I still have 6 months. This is the one, and it would come up to £56, and Tatkal it would come up to 107. I've taken the normal route. Again, the documents required, again, I would be referring only to the path that I have taken, and if there is any other thing that you do, if it's probably a lost or stolen or damaged passport, they could be that could involve some other process. I'm not sure about it, so I'm not going to comment anything about that, but only the process that I have followed. So for me, what was required was the online application form, and two recent passport size, or the photographs, 2 by 2 inch. Now, photographs, it would be better if you take more than 2 copies at least. If you could take 4 copies, that would be ideal in case something else is required. It is ideal to have a buffer with you. Okay, so after that, the document that you require is Annexure E. Annexure E is nothing but a self-declaration stating that you have not surrendered or not been terminated or deprived of the citizenship of India, and the legal aspects, you don't have any criminal offense. Okay, so this is one form that you need to submit along with your application. The next one is a police verification form, or the personal particulars form. The personal particulars form again would involve all your details along with your permanent address and telephone number and the police station. So for this, my permanent address is back in India, and I've given that as my permanent address, along with the phone number and the police station of my house in India. And the present residential address what I've given is the address that I reside in Manchester, along with the police station and the telephone number. And I have not been residing here, for over a year. It's less than a year. It's just 6 months or so. So I've also given my previous address, which was in Dubai, and I've also mentioned the period here. So in case it is less than 1 year, you need to furnish those details of your previous residences as well. The next one is the references, 2 people in your locality. So what they've asked me to is, first one would be from my permanent address. Okay, so first one would be a contact near my local Indian residence, and the second one is a contact, the details of someone in Manchester. It could be a friend, a relative, someone you know. So these are the main details in personal particulars form. Okay. Then the supporting documentation include the copies of the first and last page of the passport. You do have to carry the passport with you. The passport and the BRP card, you need the originals. Okay, and so the copies of first and last page of the passport, along with the entry visa. So entry visa, the copy of the entry visa is also required. That's the first time when you entered. You have that visa that is stamped on your passport. It is that copy that is required, and also the copy of the biometric card. Now the next would be a UK address proof, which is either your utility bills, bank account statements, or even you can keep the it's always better you take maybe a bank account statement or a utility bill, and as well as probably one thing I kept was the insurance, the national insurance letter that I received, but they didn't take that. They just took the utility bills which I had kept. I had kept two different utility bills. Then, so one major thing is that the passport application form must be filled with one Indian address, so with the police station and the PIN code. This is because they will do your reference check back in India. And finally, we have the VFS declaration form. Now, the VFS declaration form is a declaration, just a statement saying, that you can just read through it, what it says mainly about the data protection, and also the the main point that they mention is about the Royal Mail, that we'll be responsible. We will be liable to track the mail in case because the passports, the new passports, will be sent by the courier through Royal Mail, and we'll have the responsibility to track those. So it is just a declaration that we'll have to sign. So these are the main documents that we will have to submit along with the application. Now let's get to the application part. Again, it's the passport embassy.passportindia.gov.in that we'll be using for creating an application. So in case you have created a prior application in a different location, for example, in my case, my previous location was Dubai, and I had created a passport renewal application there with a particular email address. So I just logged in this time. I just logged into that email address and created another application. But when I took the printout, I saw that clearly it was mentioned. It was address. The header contained the Dubai consulate address. So that is not how it should be done. Because I'm new in Manchester, I need to register with a different email address in order to ensure that the details are correct. So I'll just guide you through how I did it. And this is one common mistake that everybody is making, because even today there were many people who had made the mistake of choosing a different location, and it is difficult because then they have to redo the entire application process again. So they're missing out time. They are missing out on their slot as well. Okay, so here we just come to United Kingdom. We choose United Kingdom. Okay, so once you've done that, and then you have to click on register. So register under the embassy and the consulate. Okay, see, there are three options that we have in United Kingdom. So one is Birmingham, one is Edinburgh, and the other one is London. So earlier, wherever we have taken the slot, so for me it was United Kingdom Birmingham, VFS Birmingham. Okay, that is the location. So under these three, whatever location you are choosing, it should be the same in the appointment as well as in this application what you're going to choose. Okay, so you choose. In my case, for Manchester, I've taken Birmingham earlier. I'm taking Birmingham now. Make sure there is no change in that, because if you take London and you are creating an application, so the entire your entire application would be based on London, and they don't accept these applications here. So make sure you don't you choose the right option. For me, Manchester, again I chose United Kingdom Birmingham, and then registered as a new user, and then completed my application. So once you log in, you get to the applicant home page, where you can choose for apply for an ordinary passport. And again, I'm applying for a reissue of my passport, and my validity has not expired yet. It is just due to expire. I had taken a normal, and if you would like to go for the Tatkal, you could very well do that if you're in an urgency. And 36, this is my first preference, and then we go on to the application form. So now the application form is pretty direct. There is not much complexities in it. Directly just whatever you have filled in earlier, or with all the information that you have, you can fill up the details. Only thing is, make sure that you give an Indian contact number, and contact number as well as the address and the police station, so that your reference checks can happen at the back end. And once you submit this application online, you will be able to print the form. Okay, so along with this form, the appointment letter, and the rest of the documents that you have mentioned, you can go for your appointment to VFS. Now, one thing, make sure that you go 15 minutes early. Okay, carry all the documents with you that are required. And yeah, so the next thing was the final payment. Now the payment is done by debit card. It is not a credit card, so make sure you have a debit card when you go there to make the final payment. I think that's more or less all of the information that I've collected today, and the more or less all the learnings that I've had today. I hope this visa renewal process would be a simple one for you, an easy one for you, and I hope my video has helped. And if you have any comments or any doubts, if it is from my understanding, definitely I would be able to help you. Give me a shout out and let me know. Thank you.